There are a lot of different ways to get funding for your startup. In the case of more experienced entrepreneurs, they might look for investors since they have a deeper understanding of the funding process.
We spoke early in our company's history to angels.
Of course, I had to put my own money. There was nothing else before that.
You better have a lot of money set aside to enable this over the next couple of years, because you're not going to have money in the first 2 years.
Funding is probably one of the most stressful parts of getting your startup off the ground. So in this episode, we had to ask, how did you seek funding as an experienced entrepreneur?
Okay, so main funding has come from Kickstarter and Indiegogo in demand. So main funding has come from these sources. Now, before we started Kickstarter, of course, I had to put my own money. There was nothing else before that. At this time, we are looking for outside funding and we are getting really great response from small investors, from angel investors or small VCs, like micro VCs as they call it.
So we just announced a week ago about our seed round led by NFX and Flint. We've raised money from amazing VCs, NFX, and the partner that we work with is Gigi Levi-Weiss, being an amazing support and a mentor to me. Also just recently joined Sergey from Flint Capital, and we are fortunate to have Sir Ronald Cohen on one of our investors, is like the world's leading impact investor in the world, and also Jeff Schwartz, previously CEO of Timberland. So amazing.
So my co-founder Carlo put in 100K. We got a bunch of government grants and stuff, and that's how we got it off the ground. And then last year we raised a pre-seed round of 1 million approximately from some great investors, and that kind of brought us where we are. Now YC is getting over. In fact, they have a demo day, which is where all the batch companies pitch to top investors, and that's already happening on Monday, so very soon. And our plan is to raise another round. We're right in the middle of that right now.
Yeah, so Dea, we did our first round with 645 out of Manhattan. That was our pre-seed round, and then we did a seed round with two other investors, Firebrand and Next Coast out of Texas. And then we have some angel investors that helped us at the beginning as well.
Yeah, so we raised our seed round from a group of institutional investors led by Wing Venture Capital. And, those institutionals were coupled with some angel investors as well. We raised about 5.7 million to go after this space. I think everyone kind of saw the opportunity that was there, saw the potential for our team to build something that could be meaningful. And so, that's been the exclusive source of funding was that seed round.
We have been funded by competitions, so by startup accelerators and also prize money from competitions. So we didn't put our own money in the startup yet. That's one part. And then the second part, for the Kickstarter campaign, we got a little investment from two angels. So there's a little convertible contract that we have set up with them, as we needed a bit more marketing power during the campaign. As already mentioned, one important reason for doing the Kickstarter campaign is the market validation. And then the reason for that, again, is because we are looking for investors. We want to finish or close our first financing round by the end of this year. And we are already talking to a lot of investors. We have already started talking to them half a year ago. And what I always told us is it's important that you can show that you have traction and that you have paying customers. And now we are in the comfortable position that with the crowdfunding campaign, we have some numbers that we can approach them. And we actually also have a lot of interest, so corporates, but also private investors who are approaching us. And therefore, we hope that we might close the first financing round by the end of this year.
We spoke early in our company's history to angels. In the past, had gotten angel funding. We went and we almost got funding from a group in Boston. Really nice guys, very smart people, and they ended up asking us all to move, and it's something that the whole team couldn't move to Boston, so we were like, well, we can't do that, and so that didn't happen. So we ended up launching commercial on our own, raising money, crowd basically, and it worked really well. In fact, the model itself is very valuable the way that works with utility tokens and such. I don't know. It's an interesting system, and we've really expanded a lot. We've rebuilt the core platform, I think, twice, and we're about to refactor it again. So, it's always changing.
All investors, they want to see the real working business model. Nobody really wants to invest in a bunch of smart guys who just have the idea. It's hard. You have to speak with 50 people, at least 50 pitch calls to find this one or two investor, especially at this super pre-seed stage, seed stage. We're still on seed stage actually, so it's not Series A, we're on seed stage startup right now. Yeah, you just the one thing that really works on this super early stage is the belief in in a particular person. Both really super early needs investors, both cases they were friends of my friends. So they will kind of really know the person who really knows me, and that's why they kind of get some confidence in me that I can do that.
I think I wish I would have done more research on how to raise rounds and investors and understand that whole ecosystem, because it is a whole nother layer of great people that want to help. Also, a lot of work that you don't even realize to prep for it. How you present yourself, how you present your company, the slide decks you have to build in a way that they can understand the story, but not give them all the information so that they want to talk to you. It's almost like speed dating, and it's horrible because you might like them, they don't like you. They call, you don't like them. They forget to message you, and you think, should I call? Should I not call? Should I email? Should I not email, right? So I equate raising money as a founder to speed dating with a lot of different investors.
It's interesting, really. And also when you actually do the pitch at the super early stage, investors don't even ask that much sometimes. Right? Smart investors, they don't even ask that much about the product, because they understand that it would change. It would change in details down the road. It's more like they more ask what kind of person you are, about your previous experience. So it feels like a little bit like job interview actually. You're talking not about what you're gonna do, but you're talking about your past, what you did in other companies, what projects were, how did you overcome challenges. Super, super close to the job interview.
I also think that founders are so excited about, oh my God, they want to give me a check. Don't forget to ask for references, okay? I mean, you're kind of going into a marriage here. And so there will be that honeymoon phase where, yes, the check is signed. Yes, you're all happy. You then have to get to work, right? You've set the expectation of what you're going to deliver in that deck. And if it happens, great, they're happy. If it doesn't, it's kind of like being in a rocky relationship. There's going to be some friction. So how do they handle that, right? And how do you handle that is probably the biggest thing that you need to learn and overcome. Yeah. And you might end up divorced down the road, and it's hard. So, yeah.
Divorcing your spouse is much easier than divorcing your investor. So before you make a commitment, watch out for common red flags. Unrealistic goals or expectations, investing in your competition, not aligning with the mission, lack of industry expertise, and overly controlling or micromanaging. On the other hand, some green flags look like good references and aligning with the mission. In any case, it's important to do your due diligence when you're researching different investors. Instead of jumping at the first chance of money, get to know different investors and their goals. It will be so much easier to find a good fit for everyone.